After your stint in New York, you came to San Diego in 1978. Mm-hmm. Please tell me why you came to San Diego, mm-hmm. and what sort of scene, jazz-wise, you found here when you arrived.
Well, when I first came, it seemed like, now maybe I'm wrong, because I don't get around as much as I used to, but it seemed like there were more venues when I first came. I came in 78, and there were maybe more clubs. So, and it seemed to be a nice little scene here. Now I think there are just as many players, but maybe not quite as many venues.
And you've stressed to me that that's a very important part of a jazz scene.
Yeah, because it takes, it's the, you know, it's a package deal. I mean, you can have thousands of players, and that's very nice. But if there are no places to play, or if there are no entrepreneurs, or if there are not the people who own or have the physical structures in which the music is played, then what is it? So it goes hand in hand. Musicians can't do everything. It's hard to be, you know, I mean, to get to a certain level musically and instrumentally, and to attain a certain amount of virtuosity and a level of musicianship, it occurs in time. I mean, it takes time to do this. It's hard to be that, and then also be entrepreneur Joe, and you know, own the club, or run this or run that. You can't, and to be a wonderful business person, because to be a great business person, that's an art in itself. It takes people that really know how to do that and love doing that to do that well. And so it's hard to wear all these different hats.
I was wondering if you could tell me how you came to perform some of the Charlie Parker solos in the Clint Eastwood biopic Bird that he did, I think, in 1988. Mm-hmm. You played the solos where Bird wasn't available on the recordings.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, I mean, it was Clint Eastwood's thing, and he could not, some things he couldn't use of Bird because they were not clean enough, or they technically couldn't clean them up, or there were money problems, or certain situations with players that were involved with Bird that didn't want to be involved with the movie. So you have all these things. Well, anyway, it turns out that some things had to be done by someone else, and I was one of the players involved in that. And Lenny Niehaus wrote the music, and basically that's how I was involved.
What was that experience like?
Well, it was interesting. I mean, you're in there. I'd never done anything like that before. They got what you call a click track, and that's where you synchronize the music with the action on the scene. And there's this signal that goes across the scene from you know, east to west this way. And at certain times you do this and that. And it was just technically to see that happen.
Your son Chuck now has experienced some professional success as a drummer. Mm-hmm. I wonder what advice you've given to him about the music industry, and what advice you give or would give to younger players.
Well, I must admit, Chuck probably knows more about the music industry and the business part than I do. He actually gives me advice, because I'm so entrenched in just the artistic aspect. All I want to do really is just play my horn and write music and play, you know. But my advice certainly would be for young players, along with getting everything you need to get in terms of the music part of it, is to really get a thorough understanding of the music business. And there are books that one can buy, you know, and find out every aspect of the music business, recording, teaching, and the whole thing.